I'm Daniel Hahn, Chief Influential Listener with Impact SAC, and the founder of A Way Forward. Enjoy this brief look at history, because only through history can we find a way forward. Throughout history, we have legalized racism, bias, and discrimination, and that came with consequences for the African American community and our entire society. Not too long ago, throughout the United States, including California, we made it illegal for a black person to marry outside of their own race. These laws came from stereotypes and biases that spread untruths about certain groups of American citizens. In 1858, not too long before Abraham Lincoln became our 16th president of the United States and signed the Emancipation Proclamation, Abraham Lincoln ran for Congress against Stephen A. Douglas and had a series of debates across the state of Illinois. Lincoln's speech in the Douglas-Lincoln debates on September 18, 1858, he stated the following about the place black people should hold in our society. Quote, "I will say then that I am not now nor have ever been in favor of bringing about in any way the social and political equality of the white and black races. That I am not now nor have ever been in favor of making voters or jurors out of Negroes, nor of qualifying them to hold office, nor to intermarry with white people. And I will say in addition to this, that there is a physical difference between the white and black races, which I believe will forever forbid the two races living together on terms of social and political equality. And in as so much as they cannot so live, while they do remain together, there must be a position of superior and inferior. And I, as much as any other man, am in favor of having the superior position assigned to the white race. I say upon this occasion, I do not perceive that because the white man is to have the superior position, the Negro should be denied everything. I do not understand that because I do not want a Negro woman for a slave, I must necessarily want her for a wife," unquote. Almost 100 years later, many of the beliefs that Abraham Lincoln held and so many others in our country were still reinforced with laws throughout our country, including California. In the late 1940s, Andrea Perez, a Mexican-American woman, and Sylvester Davis, an African-American man, applied for a marriage license with the county clerk in Los Angeles. They had met while working in the defense industry in LA. The county clerk refused to issue them a license. See, California had an interbreeding of races statute, if you will. California Civil Code, Section 60, stated, quote, "All marriages of white persons with Negroes, Mongolians, members of the Malay race, or mulattoes are illegal and void." Section 69 stated, quote, "No license may be issued authorizing the marriage of a white person with a Negro, mulatto, Mongolian, or members of the Malay race." Ms. Perez noted her race as white on the marriage certificate, and Davis noted his race as Negro. Under California law at the time, individuals of Mexican ancestry generally were classified as white because of their Spanish heritage. They took their case to the California Supreme Court, which in 1948, not that long ago, in the case of Perez versus Sharp, the California Supreme Court ruled that denying a license solely on the basis of race was a violation of the 14th Amendment. This was the first decision in our entire country to hold that this sort of law violated the United States Constitution. This California Supreme Court decision preceded the famous Loving versus Virginia U.S. Supreme Court case by 19 years. In 1958, Mildred Loving, an African-American woman, and Richard Loving, a white man, married in Washington, D.C., and returned to their home state of Virginia. Police raided their home and arrested them, because interracial marriage was illegal in Virginia. They were sentenced to 1 year in prison, which was suspended if they left Virginia and never returned together. They moved to Washington, D.C. On June 12, 1967, the U.S. Supreme Court issued a 9-0 decision that overturned Loving's conviction. The opinion was written by Chief Justice Earl Warren, who stated this case violated the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution. This story is a story of how discrimination, racism, and bias played a significant role in California and cities like Sacramento. It is also a story of how coming together to do what's right can change not only an individual's circumstance, but our community, our city, and our country. Thank you for listening, and let's make tomorrow better for everyone.